back. Now, for most of us car and truck owners, we like to have nice things. One of those nice things is chrome wheels. So, with chrome wheels comes maintenance. And of course, I'm sure we've all been there. Sometimes you get a set that has a little bit of surface rust, or sometimes overnight, some kind of animal such as a dog or cat will come up and leave their mark on your rim. If you don't catch it in time, sometimes it'll stain. Sometimes wax just won't do the job. So obviously, by the opening of this video, you can guess what happened. So, well, it's unfortunate we have to deal with that. Usually what I use is the Turtle Wax Chrome Polish to wax my wheels. Usually keeps them pretty shiny, but seeing how this stain apparently eluded me, the chrome polish took most of it off. There's a spot that stained. I'll show you in a second. I'm going to have to take other measures. Now, sometimes you use something a little abrasive with this, and sometimes that can leave some scratches on your wheel as well. So, what I'm about to show you is something that I've done to chrome occasionally to either remove those little stains or to remove slight scratches and slight imperfections a little bit, or blend them in and hide them. It sounds crazy, but it works for me, and it can take some of that old tarnish and age look off, make it look a little bit better. Now, I'm not saying this works 100% of the time, but I've used it quite a bit. It works for me. And what I do is I take either a little angle grinder air tool, corded or a cordless drill, and I will use this right here. Now, this little green block is actually buffing rouge. Now, if you've seen before, I've used this in mirror finishing as well as restoring some stainless and aluminum trim on vehicles. So it does work, does quite come in handy. Now, I also use several different buffing pads. So whatever I need to get it where I want it. Now, I've used this stuff for years, honestly. Probably 10 years or so, so quite familiar with it. The buffing, everything goes along with it. So for me, it's easy to use it to restore certain things, just certain type of finish. I've used it to get some slight surface rust off wheels, as I mentioned before, slight scratches, and as I'll show you, this little stain that is eluding me from whatever critter came up and decided to use my wheels for target practice. So I'll show you real quick how I did it, or how I'm going to do it. So hopefully this may help some of you out as well, because I know this can be an extremely frustrating thing. Now, I'm hoping you can see that stain right there. You can see the edge of it right there, and right there, right where my finger is right now, is the actual stain. And that was all the way up here, but that wiped off. But that right there actually, I guess, ate into the chrome a little bit. Now, I've tried a little bit of an SOS pad and chrome polish. It didn't get it. It scuffed it up a little bit. So now I'm going to try to use my buffing pad and divine polish. So I'm going to do, get it on there real good. I'm going to try to work it in. Now, it's easier to use a bigger buffing pad where you won't hit anything, but let's go back and fix that up a little bit. am switching over to this larger pad so I can get in there a little bit better in that crease. Now there's one stubborn spot in the crease that I couldn't get with the other pad, so now I'm switching over to this one. Didn't want to, but didn't have much of a choice. So let's see if I can get inside that crease and actually hit it. Looks like I got it. A little bit of wax, and looks a lot better. Alright, there it is. Now, it's gone. A little wax, looks great. You'll never know that that stain was there. Like I said before, I tried to wax it off and everything, but that part was just stained. And I know plenty of y'all have probably had to deal with that. Unfortunately, we shouldn't have to deal with that, but I guess unfortunately it's part of it. Now, one of the preventative measures I usually do, like I said on the GTO, is I actually have square boards cut when I got the tarp on it, and then I lay the boards against the tarp over the wheels so nothing can get to them and pee on it. So, and that's an old trick I learned from my dad years ago. He always did it. So I know you can actually buy some cloth covers that actually cover the tire itself completely, but it kind of soaks in the cloth, the board, it hits the board and it just kind of rolls off onto the ground. So there's that, but there it is. Now I use the DeWalt cordless, and I prefer to use my actual air tools for something like that, or my big electric corded drill, or not drill, but grinder, as you saw in the mirror finish video that I used. And I use that for stubborn things like on bumpers and such, but for the wheel, a little handheld Air 90 would work great. But this all came out, worked good, and I hope this will help all of you if you run across this and you do that. Now the Divine Buffing Rouge, as it's called, I use that for mirror finishing on my stainless as well and my aluminum, and it can buff out some imperfections in chrome a little bit as well, as you saw, so I don't go too wild with it. Now I got that at a local industrial supply because my company uses it, so I was able to get it that way. You should be able to find it online somewhere. It's not too it's not too expensive. I think it's like $20–25 for a brick. It's about yay long, and it can last quite a while, so it does come in handy. Now hopefully this information proved helpful, and as always, thanks for watching.